If you're looking to trade futures and learn on the 1 and 5 minute time frame to understand scalping and momentum trading, I'm going to explain everything in this video. This video is specifically for smaller time frames and getting in and out and scalping specifically in the market and learning how to take profits and get in and out of these positions on your funded accounts and ultimately making money every single week. So if that's not you, then this might not be the video for you, but let's get to work. Now, when we look at the chart, I want to make things always very simple and easy to understand. There's no secret formula. It's pure reaction to what's happening and taking place. Now, I said if you're not trying to scalp, this might not be the video for you, but this really applies to all forms of trading as far as options, stocks, and like I said, futures are concerned. And I primarily use this for futures now for these quick trades. I'd rather swing trade my options or stocks. So the first thing that I want to do and what I want to understand of what's taking place here, right? This is obviously on the day trading in a clear-cut range. Like, we cannot argue the fact of what's taking place here. The market opens up right here at around 8:30, right overall here, and you're trying to just overall trade this range. So sometimes when you're trading in a market and you trade a range, you don't know what you're looking for. That's the purpose of this video. So you're understanding everything that's taking place and where those buyers and sellers are stepping in and why exactly they're stepping in as well. Now, before we jump exactly into the VWAP and we break that down, I want to explain this is how I'm using and how I'm interpreting the use of that indicator. I don't think you need a bunch of indicators on your screen, and you'll never find that in my videos. But VWAP is a great tool to find momentum and find overall targets of where you expect buyers or sellers to step into the market, because you're going to see everything that we're doing is a reaction and we're waiting for the action of the buyers or the sellers in every single trade. Now, you guys have seen me use the VWAP indicator. There's nothing special about it. You just type in VWAP, make sure it's hooked on your session. You just want to make sure this is what it all is. I turn all of the bands and all that stuff off. And again, this is really very overall simple. So what I want to show you very quickly, and I want to show you evidence of why we were looking for this as well, because this is obviously the market's still going on. It's just I'm done trading for the day, but I want to show evidence of why we were looking at these levels early this morning. So again, you can see today, 7:42 a.m., an hour before market open, what we were looking for. NVIDIA is looking to mount 21.32 for a move into the 50 DMA and then a move into 21.510. I expect sellers to be more aggressive near 21.52 and then action to sit closer to the 50 DMA. If we hold under 21.32, I'm looking for downside back into 21.12. Okay, so those are all the big levels of what we're watching as well. And then I also posted trades throughout the day to get opportunities for the downside of what was taking place in case we didn't get that full overall drop. Now, we have key levels that we look at going into the day, right? But VWAP is going to really help you understand the trend. Now, a few things to understand of what's happening with VWAP. Very simply put, if your price action is staying above VWAP, like here on the day, you have not really held below, and this is a 5-minute time frame, below VWAP, then you are bullish. There's no reason to get overly aggressive to the downside unless you are seeing clear-cut reactions and signs from the market. And that's what we're going to discuss here. But obviously, just looking at the market this morning, you open up, you dip down near VWAP, not even all the way down to it, and then you bounce down here, back to the upside. You come back down, you find a quick bounce. Again, this is a 5-minute time frame. You spend a little over around 10 minutes, just quick stop losses here. You could obviously see, we'll zoom into this as well, that you're finding buyers off that level. So what you're looking for is to find buyers, find sellers off that level. So if you're above that level, like we can see here, I'm looking to find buyers there. I'm not looking to go short at VWAP. If I'm going short off of a key level, I'm looking to come into that level and then bounce off of it, aggressively finding those buyers. You can also apply this with volume, right? You always expect to see and find more volume. As you can see, declining volume for a bulk of the day, even to the downside. And then you start finding a big surge locally around that range, and then it dies down once again. You don't need a lot of volume to push you in a direction, but to get reversals and to get breakouts, we typically see rises in volume. So important to understand that. So what we're using that for, you're going to find less overall trades from the VWAP. You don't want to see continuous testing of the VWAP. But again, it's going to set up for really high quality trades. You don't need to take 30 trades. You just need to take 2 good trades a day to be successful. Now, VWAP is going to really help us to identify when those buyers and sellers are getting into the market. But we need to also understand key levels as well to formulate those targets or where we're going to find buyers or sellers for support and resistance. And again, I'm not just using arbitrary trend lines or zones. one's coming back down. These are all based on where previous buyers and sellers stepped back into the market. I'll also show evidence of how I've showed traders every single day this exact formula and how I use this every single day as well. So don't trust my word. You can look and see the work for yourself. Key levels. This is the part where some people get confused or thrown off. And again, I encourage you to ask questions if you have them. I also encourage, I have a Twitter as well. I recommend that you follow there if you are interested. Again, I post stuff all day throughout the day there, whether it's charts, whether it's stocks I'm looking at, inflation reports, and I also do a lot of giveaways for futures accounts if you're interested. So again, that's all free. I'm not ever trying to push anyone to pay for anything, right? So again, as we jump back in here, let's talk about why we're looking at these specific levels. The first things, I always talk about moving averages as well. I don't use moving averages on small time frames except like the 21 or 9 EMA. I've made videos about that, but those aren't real reasons to get into trades. What I do recommend are the daily moving averages. Why? So these are anchored, okay? These are anchored to the daily chart, not on small time frames. They don't move. The daily and weeklies are very important. If you look at what's happening here, one level that you've been seeing us test at, and we're going to go to a higher time frame so you can see an exact example, because I think examples really show you why this is happening and why this is working, okay? So a few points of what we're looking at here, okay? We zoom all the way out. We have our little high here, which we can see that we tested a few times. I'll go back. You have our high here from July highs, which is another top of the line target. And then you have this green line here, which is your 50-day moving average on your daily time frame, higher time frame, and then your 100-day moving average down there. So we knew going into the market today that we were going to look pretty good because of the reaction from our 100-day moving average. And then we had CPI and these other things played effect. But we also knew the last time we were around the 50-day moving average, we had a lot of chop. So if I had two targets on the day, number one was going to be that 50-day moving average. If you get above that, you're looking for 21,510, which you expect sellers to get even more aggressive at. So now we go back to those smaller time frames. We know where those levels are. So our key level that we marked out here. And let's just say that you can't even identify this level here, which I marked all the way back out from July. Okay, this is not your July high. This is like we pop down and then pop back up for a second, right? Let's say that you couldn't mark that out. Another way that you can identify this as well for finding these levels are pre-market highs and pre-market lows. They are going to be your best friend. And I'm going to identify a few of these for you, but this is your pre-market high at 745, you dip and then you eventually mount back up. But all you do, you can see this is your basically equilibrium throughout the entire day. So you bounce back down to your VWAP, and it's really interesting. You go to your 1 minute time frame here. You can see what happens. You break below this level, right? You shoot down, and then you ultimately just climb all the way back down, and you bounce right off of it, right? Again, then you shoot back up. You reject off of it. You remount it again, remounting on the 1 minute, 5 minute for getting those entry signals, and then you break back to the upside. And if you want a higher retest too, you get a break, retest, and further continuation. And the biggest thing here too is the reactions off that as well. You want to look at your key levels for the same reactions that you're looking for off of your VWAP. You want to see similar overall reactions. So you're only going to get 1 to 2 trade opportunities off your VWAP, but when you have really good key levels like pre-market highs, previous highs from your previous all-time high, then those are going to set up your overall decisions, and you're going to see action from buyers and sellers, not just arbitrary action where you go straight through them. And again, if you don't believe me, these are posted on Twitter. They're posted on my main YouTube channel. They're posted in Discord, right? So again, if you have questions or you doubt, just ask down below to see if these were there all day and how we had these posted. And so this is what you're seeing, the reaction of buying back up, right? And that's what you really want to see, is just these reactions. Now, the other part here as well is you're not like, look at the action that you're getting off these levels, continuous. So you have plenty of scalping opportunities off these as well. So if you combine these with something like a 21 or even the 9 EMA, which I recommend primarily for scalps, you can also go into that and use that for quick understanding and clarification for these as well. So it's important that you're using these in tangent, but the reactions are everything here. Over and over, wicks and buyers continuously showing up until you finally break, and then you flip and then push back down, and you're getting exactly the action in which you're looking for over and over. And again, we don't need to overcomplicate. We don't need to overwork what's happening here. We're using the key levels. We're using VWAP time and time and time again. Now we understand VWAP. We understand what's happening with key levels. Now we put them together. We apply it to the chart, and this is how I'm making profits, and this is how I'm getting in, how I'm getting out quickly, and identifying the scalping setups. Okay, now when we go into executing trades, getting in versus getting out and getting aggressive, right? A lot of questions of which I've seen on the channel were, how do I set my entries, take profits, things along those lines. I think take profits are very easy in my opinion. I'll explain here very quickly. So number one, a few things that we want to identify, and it goes back to a lot of the other previous videos we covered. We want to understand whether we're getting a bullish action or we're getting our bearish action. So bearish, and then this would be a confirmation of like bullish, right? And so all that really happens here is you're making higher highs and higher lows. You have to be able to constitute what's happening in the market and be unbiased with yourself, okay? So really quickly as we look at this as well, so you can see. So if we're looking on this downside here, basically when we start making these highs on the day going into around basically 920, and we top off and shoot back down. What I would really urge you to look at is you're consistently making higher or lower highs and lower lows here to the downside, right? So I wouldn't want to be as aggressive necessarily to the upside. So even if I am taking those scalps off of our pre-market highs, right, the retest of which we're getting there, what I would do is wait for one test and find a candle there. And then if I'm setting those trades for scalps, obviously I'm trying to get in near that range once again, stops directly under that candle, whatever that may be. And then I'm trading back into at least local highs of where we're seeing. I don't want to trade back up. I don't want to be super aggressive. And if we're in that type of trend, okay? So I would not be being super aggressive. I'm okay leaving room of missing some profits. You're still having great setups. Your R value here is still very good, and this is repeatable. And then when you eventually miss on this trade, and there's a signal why you shouldn't have entered this trade, but we'll talk about it here in a second. So you can see you come back down, and even if you took this every single time, you made profits twice, and then you lost once here, okay? Then you would eventually have the signal to re-go short here as you come back into this level locally, right about here as well. And then again, you're just flipping that same trade back towards the downside, as you can see here. Once again, all the way back down to VWAP. And you can combine this, like I said, too, with the 90 MA of getting clear continuation off the 90 MA over and over and over, right? So what you're looking for, right? The other thing that I'd be looking for here is I have to understand what time frame I'm on, right? So if I'm taking all the trades in this little section, right overall here, I want to make sure if we're trying to balance that we're not making lower highs continually. What does that mean? So right here, for instance, you made a lower high right here, coming back down, made a lower high, but then you pop back up, right? So that would be a signal that this is a decent little trade, right? But then you start making a lower high here, we're seeing a stronger sell-off and candle identification, right? What's happening there. Over time, you'll get better at identifying the buyers versus sellers with weaker candles like this and grinding below the 90 MA. But in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, take you a lot longer to do as well. But again, how I'm interpreting, how I'm looking at this, that's why I said I think it would count as a loss here for most new people taking this trade. And then remounting it here, you can clearly see you come back in that level, obviously mounting, shooting back up as well. Even if you only took 1 to 2 trades here, it was still a great opportunity. On top of that too, we go to the 50 daily moving average. You can't see it, but it's this green number right here because I'm on a small time frame. But you can also see we marked it out right there. Now, when we come into these levels that are major, like the daily 200, the daily 150, whatever it may be, you have to be able to identify that you might not get the exact touch. And that's why I always draw ranges for levels, not exact pinpoint levels, okay, when we're looking at this. So again, as you start seeing sellers here, it's a big sign that maybe I should stop getting aggressive on the buy side. Because again, if you're becoming a buyer when you mount this level, you have to identify, right? You have all this upside into our next target, as you can see here. So let's just hypothetically say you have this right here and your stop is down here, right? Lower stops below this wick, just to make the risk reward make more sense. You have to identify. You are getting less and less value on your trade the more you move up. Even if you move the stops, right? Your reward opportunity is becoming less and less, and you're getting closer and closer to that target. So you have to be able to identify that. The same thing for downside, right? The closer VWAP is, the less of downside I want to take off that key level. I want to follow the action, take what's given to me, and not just try to guess and play Rambo throughout the market. That's how I attack the market. If you have questions, comment down below. See you next time.